Hey guys, it's Laura Kate. Hey, happy June. I'm here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, just really enjoying this community build that they have set up here. There's just been a huge investment in this community, and it shows everywhere in how the people relate, how they communicate when they meet up for coffee, how they do business together, how kids do school programming for children. It is really sweet. It's similar to the community that I grew up in, and so it's really nice to see that in actually a totally different part of the country, where that they actually have this, set up and built in such a sweet way, the same way that the town that my parents handpicked out for me to grow up in, which was my utopia. And realizing that as an adult later in life, because it was so special, but finding that here and finding that there are other people who care about community and invest in their community. That was the answer that a prophet had to the pre-work of World War III is kind of what he was predicting. Now, he didn't say it was World War III. He said it was an incredible hardship that was going to hit America. It was an incredible hardship that was going to hit America. And he started prophesying over 10 years ago, 12 years ago, John Paul Jackson. And God actually gave me that name. I didn't know of that man. I'd never heard his information or intel. God gave me that name, and I looked him up. And it was right when COVID, right when everything was getting shut down, or right when the gyms had been shut down, COVID had come in. That man predicted COVID. He described it word for word what would be going on. And he described the aftermath of that, in that we would be experiencing great hardship, great devastation in this country, and that there'd be areas of this country which would possibly be bombed by explosive bombs. Now, I know other prophets have seen visions of airplanes flying over and bombs hitting certain areas. There were food shortages that were predicted. Now, have we had any of that hit? No, we haven't, thank goodness. And he did predict that we would pull out of it. So it sounded like we could, like if a storm was coming, like if a tornado was coming, you can pray it out. You can pray it out, right? And you can have it lift and not hit. I was sitting in Pflugerville in my home there when I had first moved to Austin, Texas, just outside of Austin. And the news media, everyone had announced that a tornado was hitting. A tornado was going to be hitting our town. And so, my neighbors had let me know. We were being urged to go to the middle rooms, basically hunker with a blanket, listen to emergency radio broadcasting, and there was a countdown for this tornado that was gonna hit. It was supposed to hit in 3 minutes. And so neighbors were calling each other, we were all getting ready, we were all hunkered down for this tornado to hit. No joke. 2 minutes before the tornado was gonna hit, the entire thing lifted up. It went in a different direction, and it did not hit our city. It did not hit our city. So I'm praying that the stuff that John Paul Jackson saw in the aftermath of COVID and what was hitting our nation, and that he prophesied that it will lift and it will not hit our nation. That it will lift and it will not hit our nation. So I really pray that our country will be preserved in that way. But it was a huge red flag. It was a huge red flag, and it was a military red flag. It was a military red flag. It was an implosion from within our country. It was an implosion from within our country. This is Laura Kate.